Hi, I'm Greta, content lead here at Notify Technology. Joining me today, I have Rob from Middlesex University. So today, Rob, we're just going to have a little chat and get to some of your views on how you're finding Notify, learn a little bit more about your experience using the system, and then hopefully this might be useful for safety leaders out there who are looking to implement a digital health and safety system like Notify. So to start things off, could you please just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Middlesex Uni?
I'm the head of health, safety and wellbeing, and I've been in that role for 14 years now, so quite a while. Health and safety. So health safety in Middlesex is we devolve responsibility into the departments for controlling and managing their areas, and we're sort of here to support, assess, advise, and oversee, report on performance to senior management, our executive team, and our board of governors, and to generally try and support student activity happening and keep the university out of trouble.
Cool. Yeah. So in terms of what safety looks like at Middlesex University, could you just go into that in a bit more detail and what sort of challenges you maybe face or did face prior to implementing Notify and how they kind of impact your team?
So prior to having Notify, everything was paper or Excel based, very manual and very time consuming. We're quite a small team. There's only 3 of us really that work in safety. So the more time you spend dealing with spreadsheets, less time you actually spend out in the areas doing quality work and supporting with risk assessments and the bits that are important. We had an audit prior to by PwC prior to bringing Notify in. And it was one of the recommendations that we look for a piece of software that could support us in dealing with managing our actions better, managing our accident incident reports. And they saw it as a good way of us collecting more near miss data, because that's something that we struggled with previously. And actually, that's something that's been quite successful. People seem to be happier to engage in that quickly on an app or a device than they do with going back to the office, printing off a bit of paper, filling it in, sending it off.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of making it sort of accessible and kind of as easy as possible. Yeah, totally. So when you were looking for a kind of software provider, what did the selection process look like? How did you hear about Notify? What did that kind of look like?
So I don't want to make myself sound lazy, but I received a cold call from Notify
Nice.
from either a health and safety conference that I'd been to or from my LinkedIn profile. And it just came in at the right time, if I'm honest. And although there were other tools out in the market, the sales guy hooked me. It showed how it could help. Enough in that initial call for me to want to know more. And just the relationship with Notify has been really good since the start. The contract managers, the people that have been put on to support us have been brilliant. So yeah, it was a very small contract as well, so we didn't need to look at too many other providers or get quotes or anything like that. And we wanted something in place quickly, and Notify just ticked that box.
Perfect. Yeah. My next question was, I guess you maybe possibly just covered it, like what specifically stood out about Notify when you were kind of in that process? What sort of persuaded you? Was it kind of that personal relationship maybe?
It was a combination of the personal relationship, the price, and how rapidly Notify seemed to be developing and moving things forward. That's the one thing I can say. In the time I've been with Notify, nothing's ever stood still for very long, in a very positive way.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's really good feedback. I think it's something we kind of like pride ourselves on, is that getting things kind of in place, and that kind of benefits you guys as well. In terms of your onboarding experience, what did that look like? Was that like something that was quite easy to manage, and were you getting supported through that journey?
Yeah, we were supported through that journey. I think we were able to get Notify up and running quite quickly. The challenge we've always had is getting people to use it, and getting the university to members of the university to actually engage in it properly. That did take us a bit of time, and we were supported all the way through that process in ways that we could do things. We were given advice and guidance on how to set up the system and how it might work based on how Notified worked with other institutions, and we built it based on how we use other sort of estates management software at the university. And it's ticked along okay on that basis for a few years. Where we've really made massive strides forward in the last 18 months is with our current case manager support, Jake. He's really, at one point I thought Jake was a member of my team. I was meeting him so frequently. He's really helped us understand what we're looking for and how Notify can support us with that. And we've made some really fundamental changes to that system in how it's built. So we no longer look at accidents and incidents and where they occur by location. We look at them by department so that we can make sure that the right people are looking and investigating things, and speeds up the whole process. We hadn't thought about half of that before Jake came in and really drilled into the details of what we wanted from the system.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. That's really good feedback. Yeah, definitely. It's kind of what he's here to do.
But it is what he's here to do. But I think he has gone a step further with that. He's got a real, I don't know if this paints him in a bad light. He's got a real passion for this, and problem solving and trying to help us find a solution. And you don't always get that. Sometimes you get someone just trying to, oh, you want to do this? I've got a module. I can sell you a module for that.
Yeah.
And that's not been his approach. It's been really trying to find ways of making what we have work better, and then looking at where we can grow it from that point.
Yeah, brilliant. Good stuff. Excellent. So in terms of what has Notify helped you improve, do you have any kind of examples of tangible results or sort of safety metrics?
It's helped us break down and drill into our accident incident data a lot more, so we get a better picture of what's occurring, and importantly how we can track the actions that come out of that and make sure that things are dealt with to avoid accidents reoccurring. And then we've seen opportunities to streamline a lot of things that we do through Notify. So we've brought subsequently our audits and inspections into the system. We've been able to build that to support us as a safety team. And then we've used it to bring other departments in to do their inspection templates. So all our minibuses are checked through there. And we've most recently set up another option within the system so that staff can report work-related stress to us.
Yeah.
So they don't have to go through their line manager, or they don't have to go to a HR representative. They can just raise something with us, and then we'll have a process in the background for investigating that. That's a huge step forward. That's not something we ever thought we could do through this system or considered doing through this system. And it's moving things away from being very traditional safety based about chemicals and risk assessments, and to actually now look at the people, which are a massive part of safety, is making sure that people are safe, well, and go home healthy. Notify is really helping us put something tangible in there that we'll now be able to report to our executive team and our audit assurance and risk committee about the number of people that are reporting stress to us each year and what we're doing about it. And where those hotspots of things might be within the university. So it's Notify is great because it can capture all that information for us.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a really good point. I think I've read quite a lot lately about kind of psychosocial risks and like delving into that a little bit more. So it's a perfect way to kind of surface that. Definitely. Great. Kind of my final question really is, would you recommend your peers to Notify, and if so, why?
I'd absolutely recommend, and I have done in the past. Everybody seems to be tied into one tool or another, and from what I hear about other colleagues in HE, there's always a shortcoming in who they're working with. I've not found that with Notify yet. I've not found the downside to it. And I think my recommendation would be that you can go to Notify. They have something that fits with you now, and it's going to continue fitting with you as you develop and as you grow and as you identify more things that you need support with. it's not a perfect system because nothing is. You can't, you're not producing a bespoke tool for me. It's a system that you can customize. But with the staff that you have working with you, the support we're getting from Jake, you can actually build something that's pretty much near perfect. And if it's not, he can see how we can get it there in 3 months, 6 months, a year's time. And that's what I'm looking for, because nothing stands still.